Question 1. In what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products?
Andy Goodwin has a theory that in every music video there should be links between the lyrics and the visuals and the music and visuals, and all of the clips should be edited on the beat. So we've done this by having, like in the narrative sections, having close-ups of Mitch's eyes, because the lyrics say these eyes, and the narrative section is filmed by a river at the local recreation ground. So we've chosen this because it says in the song "down by the river," so we thought that was really important just to get the links in there following Andy Goodwin's theory. Also editing onto the beat, we used Final Cut Express, so we used beat markers, so this helped us be able to edit it on the beat, and Mitch sat there for ages going through putting beat markers in because I can't do this.
So it was a really handy tool though to
yeah.
It was really useful.
Yeah, it was.
Put clips and change clips over.
Well, that was one of the things that drew us towards them using Final Cut.
Yeah. So we researched through YouTube a lot of other bands in our genre, so like their music videos, so The Killers, Foo Fighters, Lawson, Muse, all of them. We looked at their music videos just to see what all of them have, so we could include some of those in our music videos so it followed the conventions. So things like Star Iconography, they had a lot, so say for the Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl is like the main focus, he's the lead singer, so they have like a lot of close-ups and just like loads of shots onto Dave Grohl as like he's the main focus of the band. So Mitch was our vocalist, so we had like all of those kind of different camera angles and different shot and like the different close-ups as well of Mitch, so it was clear to the audience that he is like the main focus of the band. We chose Mitch because we thought it was a really big advantage of having him in our music video, as he is part of our group, so even on filming days he would still have to be there, so it wasn't like it was going to be 4 people that do different jobs and are going to be free at different times and trying to get them all free at one time. So we thought that it was a massive advantage, and because
it was very
Mitch,
convenient.
Yeah, because Mitch also has the same kind of indie dress sense that we were going for, we thought that this was really good as well, and he was really keen actually to be the vocalist.
Love Star Iconography.
Yeah. So as I was saying with the costume, we through our research we found that a lot of the bands use like the style of the clothes is quite indie, so people like Converses, Vans, skinny jeans, leather jackets, all of that kind of thing. We thought that really fits in with that kind of genre, so we thought that we'd
people like Lawson and that.
Yeah.
Exactly, like similar clothing.
Yeah, so we thought that we'd use that as well, follow the conventions of the costume, and so when we chose our actors, we gave them a list of the different clothing that they could wear, so they weren't going to like come up with trackies and a vest top, as that wouldn't fit in with our genre and our music video. The location as well for the performance section, they're usually in like a large room with like the lighting is quite dark, so we decided that we were going to use the drama studio within the school because it's quite a dark room and we can control the lighting in there as well, and because our bass player is an IT consultant, technician, we thought that was like really good as well because he could help us with the kind of lighting that we were after.
Yeah, as well as actually being in it too.
Yeah, because we had a big problem with the too much light on Mitch, so his face was like really white, so he helped us with that. We followed different rules as well that we learned from doing our AS media study, so like the rule of thirds, 180-degree rule, the shot reverse shot, so we didn't ever have anything central. We always had it like to the left or to the right slightly. The 180-degree rule so it didn't, like in the narrative section with Mitch and Chanel, it never looked like Mitch and Chanel were facing the same way. It always looked like they were actually looking at each other. We had a bit of trouble choosing within our group the location of the performance section, because through our research we found that like the Foo Fighters, they would use a room like the drama studio, whereas Lawson would use a room like a gymnasium, but the lighting would still be quite dark. It wouldn't be as bright as our one. And then U2 would use a room like a hall, like so on a stage, and there was loads of seats. So we were like discussing it for ages, weren't we, choosing which one to use. And then April and Mitch went on to a lip syncing trial just to see, and they chose the drama studio, and we thought that looked really good, and it was what we wanted really, the lighting and everything. It was perfect, wasn't it? So yeah, that's why we chose that room. And as well, like I said, the Foo Fighters use that kind of room in Walk. For the narrative part of our music video, oh no, I haven't spoken about the actors. Okay, I'll do that now. For our whole video, we had to choose a drummer, a guitarist, a bass player, a vocalist, and a girl at the end of our video that Mitch meets up with. So we thought, we've seen other music videos that people have made through from media studies, and we thought that some of them don't actually play the song that they're meant to be playing, so we decided that we were going to choose people that can actually play the instruments. So we gave Sam Paris, our guitarist, the chords that he has to learn.
Yeah, he just learned them, didn't he?
Yeah, so he learnt them, and he did actually play the right thing on the day, and the drummer is actually the drummer in the Sellafield, so he knew it already, which was a massive advantage. The performance sections, the pace of the editing is very quick, so it's different camera angles and shot choices and close-ups of the band and different people in the band and the instruments. So it is very quick in the performance section, especially on things like the guitar solo, so that's, close-ups and extreme close-ups of the guitar. Whereas the narrative section, we found that the clips are slightly longer, they're not as quick. So we use that in our narrative section. So the shots of like Mitch walking around, like checking his watch, things like that, then they aren't as quick as the performance section would be. Also the other narrative section, so the house party at the beginning of the music video, sorry. We changed the colour so it was all black and white. We thought that this was really good because it makes it clear to the audience that it is a different time period. So we wanted them to understand what was present and past tense. Also, in the second verse of our music video, we've got Mitch going to sit down, and then he's having flashbacks of the party, and all of the clips are of Chanel. So it makes it clear to the audience that
that's what he's thinking.
It's Chanel that he's waiting for, and it's her that he wants to see and wants to see again. So we wanted to make it clear to the audience that the flashback was a flashback and it wasn't just the house party being repeated. So we had white flashes in between the clips just to show, and like the transition going from Mitch sitting there to Chanel dancing, we had additive dissolve, so it goes quite bright and then into the next clip, so then it links in with the flashes, so it just flows. Yeah. The performance section we found was quite difficult actually, trying to get what Mitch was singing linking in with the actual song that we put on to Final Cut. Yeah. So it was quite out sometimes, but what we did was we used this roller tool, so we literally just changed the timing of that clip so we could get it on time. So because obviously other music videos you haven't got Dave Grohl singing, like his miming being completely out with the song. So we felt that it was really important to make it look verisimilitude, so it does look like real life. Originally it was 4 of us. There was somebody called David with us as well. Top bloke, yeah. We were meant to be filming our house party at his house, but he dropped out for various reasons.
Yeah.
So we had to change it. We looked at all of our houses, didn't we? We had different pictures of our houses, and we just thought that for the convenience of it as well, that my house probably was the best one, because it's close, isn't it? It's close to all of us, and
it was quite confined, so you could really get like the party feel out of it as well. Instead of having like a massive open space with like a few people where it wouldn't look
and
as
to get
good.
everyone round, everyone was like easy
and
to get to her house
as well, because you're in Bracknell. So for everybody that we invited to come to be like extras in our house party, mostly live around here, so like near my house. So it just made it more easily accessible.
Yeah.
So for our ancillary texts, research has shown that most of them have like all of the band members on the front facing forwards, like with stern facial expressions on, so like the Killers and the Kaiser Chiefs. But we thought that they were all like too similar. We thought that it wasn't creative if we do something like that, so we carried on with our research, and we found one of the Scripts album covers, and it was all of their faces put together, if that makes sense. So we really liked the idea of it.
Into one,
it was like all morphed into one face. We really liked the idea of it, and
we kind of developed it a bit to make
Yeah.
it to suit how we wanted it.
how we liked it.
because
Our own
even
twist, also.
because even their one was still quite boring, we felt, because the background was just one colour, whereas our one, we kind of morphed all of the faces in, and then brought out the colours of the tops, and Mitch was wearing like a burgundy hoodie. So on Photoshop we used the smudge tool to bring out the colours of the different tops. We felt that this was a bit more creative, wasn't it? And
Definitely.
yeah, it was just developing their idea. We really liked the idea of bringing in the different colours into the background, because a lot of the different album covers are quite dull. They're very dark colours, and they aren't very bright, and we just thought that we didn't want ours to be like that. We wanted it to...
Even though we do have a great background, but...
but our colours are linked into the background as well,
do
aren't
suit
they?
it.
So it does work, and we just thought that it made it feel a little bit happier, really, because the colours are very dull on the other ones, and we just thought if there was more colours, then it would make the audience want to buy it. Yeah. For the magazine article, we chose to have all 4 band members on the magazine article still. We had Mitch central, so he was still the main focus. The clothing, it was the same actually, wasn't it? The same clothing as what you wore for the performance section. Yeah. So this helped obviously, because it followed the convention still of like the indie clothing. Through research of other magazine articles, we found that all of the quotes and like the stars on them, they're all quite positive, so none of them are saying this band is rubbish. So we thought that ours would be quite positive. Obviously we didn't give ourselves like
Rating
all
reviews.
5 stars
Excellent.
and whatever, like some of them were like 4 stars.
Constructive.
Yeah. And also who the quotes were by are really important as well, because obviously we don't want Capital Radio, really, do we?
No.
Because they're more like...
You want some like average like people just...
Like
normal people
related within the genre, like...
Yeah, so
Dave,
like Q Magazine.
Like Dave Grohl, who is in a kind of rock band.
Yeah.
The Foo Fighters, so yeah, because they're quite similar to Stella Foods, aren't they?